Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Granny, your little English helper. Today, I'm going to share a real story with you. It is a story about a dark room, a heavy heart, and the day everything changed. As you listen, I hope you discover some wonderful new vocabulary. Feel free to use these words in your daily conversations to truly boost your fluency. Now, let's begin. My name is Robert. I am 65 years old now. When I look at my hands, I see lines. Every line tells a story. But for a very long time, my story was completely empty. I did not write it. I just let the days pass. When I was 25 years old, I had a big problem. I was lazy. But back then, I did not call it laziness. I called it waiting. I told myself, I am waiting for the right moment. I am waiting for the perfect job. I am waiting for energy. Every morning was the same struggle. My alarm clock screamed at 7 a.m. I looked at the ceiling. I felt a heavy weight on my chest. It was not a physical weight. It was the weight of doing nothing. I pressed the snooze button 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, sometimes. I stayed in bed until noon. My room was dark. The curtains were always closed. I liked the darkness because it hid my reality. In the dark, I did not have to see my dirty clothes on the floor. I did not have to see my empty notebook. I felt safe. But I also felt dead inside. My friends were moving forward. One friend bought a small house. Another friend started a business. They were busy. They talked about their projects, their problems, and their successes. When I sat with them, I felt like a ghost. I smiled, I laughed at their jokes, but inside, I felt small. I thought, they are lucky, they have a special power, I do not have it. I spent my afternoons on the sofa. I watched television for hours. I watched sports. I watched movies. I lived in other people's stories because my own story was too boring to look at. My mother often called me. She asked, "Robert, did you find a job today? Did you go outside?" I always made an excuse. I said, "The economy is bad, Mother. Companies are not hiring. I will try tomorrow." Tomorrow was my favorite word. It was a beautiful lie. Tomorrow I will clean my room. Tomorrow I will read a book. Tomorrow I will exercise. But as you know, tomorrow never actually arrives. When I woke up, it was always today, and today I was always too tired. One rainy Tuesday, my grandfather came to my apartment. He did not call before. He just knocked on my door. When I opened it, I was still in my pajamas. It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He looked at me. He looked at the dirty plates in the sink. He looked at the dark windows. He did not yell at me. He did not tell me I was a disappointment. He walked to the window, pulled the curtains open, and let the grey daylight fill the room. The light hurt my eyes. Then he turned around. He pointed at my messy desk. He said 5 words. Action cures the heavy mind. Just that. He did not stay for tea. He did not give me a long lecture about life. He put his hat on and left. I stood alone in the bright room. I felt angry at first. What did he know? He was old. His life was different. But then I looked at myself in the mirror. My hair was messy. My eyes were dull. I looked like a man who was giving up. I sat on the edge of my bed. My mind felt like mud. It was heavy with doubts, fears, and regrets. And then I remembered his voice. Action cures the heavy mind. I decided to test his words. I did not try to change my whole life in 1 second. That was too big. Instead, I looked at the sink. There were 3 dirty cups. I stood up. My body felt heavy, like it was made of stones. But I walked to the sink. I turned on the warm water. I washed the first cup, then the second, then the third. It took me exactly 3 minutes. When the sink was clean, something strange happened. The weight on my chest felt a tiny bit lighter. My mind was not clear, but it was not as muddy as before. I thought, okay, what is next? I walked to the floor and picked up my clothes. I put them in the wash. Then I sat at my desk. For months it was empty. I took a pen and I wrote down 3 things for the next day. 1. Wake up at 8 a.m. 2. Walk outside for 10 minutes. 3. Clean the desk. That night I went to sleep with a tiny spark of hope. The next morning, the alarm rang. My old habit told me to press snooze. My bed felt warm. The stone weight tried to return, but I whispered to myself, action cures the heavy mind. I did not think. Thinking was my enemy because thinking created excuses. I just moved my legs. I stood up. I cleaned my desk. Then I put on my shoes and went outside. The fresh air hit my face. I walked around the block. I saw people walking to work. I saw the sun behind the clouds. I felt alive. For the first time in years, slowly, day by day, I built new habits. I learned that laziness is not a character flaw, it is a loop. The less you do, the less energy you have and the heavier your mind becomes. To break the loop, you must move. I applied for a simple job at a local bookstore. I got it. It was not a famous job, and I was not making millions of dollars. But it gave my day a structure. I had a reason to wash my clothes. I had a reason to smile at people. I started to read the books around me. I learned about history, about science, and about human nature. Now I am an old man. I look back at that 25-year-old boy in the dark room, and I feel deep pity for him. He was losing the most valuable asset in the universe, time. My friends, if you are sitting in a dark room today, listen to me. Do not wait for motivation. Motivation is a luxury that comes after you start. If your mind feels heavy, if you feel lost, do one small thing right now. Clean a dish, walk to the window, open the curtains. Remember the words of an old grandfather, action cures the heavy mind. Start today. Today is all you have. We have come to the end of my little story, and I hope you enjoyed it and learned a ton of new vocabulary too. Feel free to re-watch this video to practice your listening again. Good luck with your studies, keep moving forward, and I'll see you in the next video.